Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Ruth here with bodybyruth.com, and it's a little bit rainy out today, which is a great opportunity for me to spend a little extra time in my kitchen getting some meal prep done. Now, when I'm working with my clients, I really encourage them to take a couple of days where they're just gonna do about an hour of meal prep twice a week. So I like to do it for them. Usually I'll suggest Sunday or Monday, and then again around Thursday. And that's gonna give them the basics that they're gonna need so that they're prepared throughout the week. So I typically get my groceries on Monday morning. I do a pool workout and then I hit the grocery store, and then I come home and I do my meal prep. And so I've done some, and I wanted to show you what I do so that my week is easier, so that I am prepared. Because in short, meal prep is to make your life easier. Hey Maria, so that you are able to do all the things and not miss out on life, but still stay on track with your health and wellness goals. So my meal prep might not be the same as yours. I typically will do the basics. I'll make a few things in bulk that I can use throughout the week, and I'll just use them differently. Some people will use and eat the same thing the whole week. I love variety, and I need variety, and I really prefer to make a few things in bulk and then change how I use it in my meal plan. So first things first is you want to get some good containers, and I recommend using glass containers. That way you can either put them in the freezer, you could put them in the fridge, you could take it right out of the refrigerator and put it in the oven, and you're not dealing with plastic. So glass is great. I store all of my stuff in the refrigerator or freezer in glass containers, and then they're easy to stack and store as well. I also suggest mason jars because mason jars just get organized very nicely. And so for my liquids, I will use mason jars to store my things. And I also suggest getting, just having a lot of good Ziploc bags on hand. And I use my Ziploc bags when I am buying something in bulk and I want to use some fresh, and then I don't want it to go to waste. And so I'll put some of it, like spinach or certain greens, because you know you can't use it all at once. I will stick a bunch of it in a Ziploc baggie and stick it in the freezer. So when I'm making my smoothies, frozen spinach is perfect for smoothies. Also, if you have fruit that's just, it's past its eat fresh, it's just got maybe a little bit of bruising on it, and you don't want to eat it fresh because it's got some bruising, it's still really good for smoothies. So I will cut the stems off of strawberries, because those tend to be the thing in my refrigerator that I don't consume on time, and I end up throwing a bunch out. So I will put some in the refrigerator, I'll cut those stems off, and then I have them for my smoothies. So glass containers, mason jars, and some Ziploc bags. And Ziploc bags are also great. I love to make my smoothies fresh, but if you are someone that is like, you need to be out of the door like at a certain time every morning, it will help you to put your smoothie ingredients together. The Ziploc bag is just great. You could, throw your spinach and your pear and your protein powder all together, so that all you have to do is throw it in your blender in the morning and you're ready to go and add your liquid. My dog is sneezing, okay? All right, so you've got your containers. The second thing that I recommend is to look at your week ahead. So if you know that you're gonna be out, let's say, it's baseball season, and you're gonna be out of the house 3 nights a week, you need to plan which nights you have that you're going to be eating at home and which nights you're going to be out. So I typically eat at home Monday through Friday with our kids, and we usually will have and Sunday. We usually will go out and have something to eat once or twice during the weekend, either a Friday or a Saturday night. But you need to look at your week so that you know how much food to prepare. And I love to suggest, if you're making a big batch of something, make enough so you can have it 2 times. I usually will say I'll have it for dinner and then I'll have the leftovers for lunch one day. We don't usually eat leftovers for dinner too much. I am the leftover queen in my house. No one else really loves them as much as I do. So I usually will have the leftovers for lunch, but make enough for yourself so that you're making it easier for you throughout the week. Now, when it comes to some staples in my house, I usually always have, because I carb cycle, I will always make a batch of either quinoa or brown rice. And that way I can use it as a staple and then put add-ins. If I'm having the quinoa as a breakfast, like I kind of serve it like oatmeal, then I'll just add some almonds or some nut butter and some raisins to that with some almond milk, but it's already cooked, it's ready to go. If I want a more savory side, then I'll season it with some cumin and some paprika, maybe some turmeric, and I'll add some vegetables. Sometimes I'll put an egg on it, but that way it's ready, because those are the things that take the longest, right? When you're cooking your rice, when you're doing your quinoa, they take the longest. And so all you have to do is just season it the way you want. I store it plain, and then I'm ready to go, whether I want to have it for breakfast, for lunch, or for dinner. So the other thing that I do every Monday is I'll cook some meat. So we have a green egg. I will usually cook up a bunch of chicken thighs, or I might throw a flank steak on there. Because I'm using a grill with charcoal, I like to cook as much of my meat as I can that I'll be able to use throughout the week. And that way I could throw my steak on, like if I do a flank steak, I'll be able to throw that on my salad. If I'm doing the chicken thigh or chicken breast, I can put that on my salads or just have it as a side, and it just makes it so much easier. The other thing I do is I look at what snacks I'm going to have. And so I usually will always make a protein ball. This week I made some chocolate chip cookie dough balls. And yes, these are 100% healthy. They taste amazing. And I store them in my freezer. And when I need that quick snack, I'll just grab 2 and then I'm good to go. I also will think of a savory snack because I like to have a variety. And I also made some homemade hummus. And I just store that in a glass container. And that way I have a savory snack if I need something, whether a lot of times on a Sunday night, we'll have maybe some smoked salmon, some hummus, something that is not really a meal, but like little snacky things with some edamame or something like that. So get your staples done early, quinoa. I also will do breakfast ingredients. So I love doing egg cups. Basically, they're like little mini omelets. They literally take all of like 2 or 3 minutes to put together, and then I bake them for 12, and then I store those as well in a glass container, and I just warm them up when I'm ready to eat them, and I use those on low carb days. So it's great to have options so that you're always prepared. Likewise, in addition to the egg cups, I like to have some kind of oatmeal ready to go. So I will make a batch of that. I use my Instant Pot all the time for those staples, because while that's cooking, I could be prepping whatever I'm doing with my eggs for my egg cups or whatever. So last night I did an oatmeal with apples in it, and so I'll be able to use that when I have a higher carb breakfast throughout the week, which is great. All right, so I've got my staples done. I typically don't do my vegetables until the day I'm going to eat because I want them to be fresh. I love my food to taste as fresh as possible. And so if I've got those staples done, then all I have to do is add the veggies to it. Or if I'm doing fish, I like to do fish and eat that. And the good thing with fish is it takes like 15 minutes to prepare because it cooks so quickly. So those are things that do really get on the table quickly. But if you've got your staples and your sides kind of ready to go, that's going to save you a lot of time. All right, so the other thing that I do is I juice, and I make this green juice, which I love. I actually crave it. It's so good. It's got cucumber and celery and ginger and lemon juice and a lot of kale, a green apple, water, and I put a little drizzle of honey in it. And this will last me about 3 days. I store it in my mason jars in my refrigerator, and I'll just, drink about a cup at a time. And that way I know I'm getting really good nutrition at my fingertips. And again, it's like so fast. I put it in my blender and it takes me about 2 minutes to put it together. I store it in my refrigerator and I'm good to go for about 3 or 4 days, and then I do it again for another 3 or 4 days. The other thing that I always have on hand are my turmeric ginger shots. I'm just giving that a little shake. But this is what helps my body stay in motion. Hey, Cooper. This is what helps me stay in motion so that I'm still able to do all the things. I'm able to run. I'm able to do all of my workouts. I'm able to just stay active. So turmeric, ginger, apple, pepper, water, a drizzle of honey, a little bit of cinnamon, and I keep this in this big jar, and I'll take like 5 little swigs at a time, and I'll do it a couple times throughout the day, and it lasts me a few days as well. Maybe 3 times throughout the day, because it's so good for you and this tastes amazing. So having your stuff ready for you is just one of those things that is gonna help you so that you are prepared, because if you are not prepared, you're gonna give in to the temptation that's around you. And then a few shortcuts. I will just say, one of the things that I absolutely love and that we use all the time is the rotisserie chicken from Costco. Who are my Costco fans out there? Okay, so we go to Costco every week, and this is on the list every week. It's their rotisserie chicken that is already deboned. They sell it in this little package. I made today my lunch for the next few days, which is an egg salad with fresh dill, and it has the chicken from Costco in it. And you guys, my lunch will be ready. I'll have this for about 3 days. It's basically eggs, rotisserie chicken, dill, green onion, salt, pepper, and then I don't use mayonnaise. I have lemon juice and olive oil in there. It tastes fantastic, but this is such a great shortcut. If you go to Costco and you don't get this, you need to put this on your list. The only thing I will say about this is if you don't consume the whole thing within a week, you're gonna have to toss whatever you haven't eaten out. So what I try to do, I don't always do this, that makes me sad when I have to throw parts of it out, is put half of it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer, because it lasts about a week. You know, chicken will get slimy. It'll start to get stinky if you don't consume it soon enough. So those are some of the tips that are super helpful for me. You can, if you are super busy and it helps you to package all of your meals for a week, you can do that. I just prefer myself to do some staples, have a snack or 2 on hand, have something that I'll have for lunch. I use this on low carb day. This is the egg salad and chicken, because I need something that's going to have good protein and healthy fat in it, and that will do it for me. But if you don't have things ready, you just are going to struggle. And I don't want you to be on the struggle bus. I want you to be successful. So if you, let me show you this little guy right here. I forgot to show you this. So my clients know I love kefir. I actually make my kefir. You don't have to be that into meal prep if you don't want. You could just buy raw kefir from the grocery store. But kefir is another thing that I make every week because it is so good for you, and it's great for your gut, and your gut health is going to help you with just your overall health. And so this little guy gets consumed on a regular basis. You see how it kind of separates. This is ready to go. I'm ready to strain it and put it in a mason jar, which also gets stored in my refrigerator. But those are some of the tips that are super helpful for me. Hopefully they will be helpful for you too. And if you just feel like you need a little bit more hand holding, a little bit more coaching with just how to really optimize the meal prep so that you are successful, comment below. I would love to be able to help you with that. This is one of the things that is a big deal for me when I'm training my clients. We meal prep every week, and it's so important if you are really committed to being healthy. You have to just take a little bit of time. You guys, honestly, to be honest, I will do all of this in 20 minutes, and while I'm doing that, I will pull coconut oil in my teeth. If you don't know what that is, Google coconut oil pulling. It's basically a really great way to detox and get rid of bacteria out of your mouth, but oral health is also a reflection of your general health, so I will do that all while I'm swishing the oil in my mouth, and I kill two birds with one stone. But the key here is to plan. Comment below if you are interested in a little bit more help or a little bit more information on what it looks like to get organized at the beginning of the week with your meal prep. I would love to help you with that. Here's to Meal Prep 101 and helping you be successful with all the things. Have a great one, guys.